Hi, everybody. It's Esther L with Urban Asset Protection, and I'm joined with Ericka. Say hi, Ericka.
Hey, everybody. This is Ericka.
Hey, today we're going to talk about taxes, and Jessica Walker will be joining us later in the show. Quick announcement. Once again, I'll be in New York next week from the 7th to the 11th. I'll be at Joel is going to kill me. I'm going to be at Joel's bookstore, Benjamin Brooklyn in Brooklyn, and I'll be filming a talk show in Queens on business credit for all you local individuals in those boroughs. I said it wrong last time, and I made sure that I was going to correct it this time. So Ericka, she's got a couple of PowerPoint slides. She's going to go first. I'll go second, and then we'll have Jessica come on. She's going to talk about building your online community so that you can cash flow. So in layman's terms, just basically those Instagram, mainly Facebook, and some other things, those groups, how you can internalize those into cash flow.
Building a tribe.
Yes. Oh! All right.
What?
You didn't know I could sing. So anyway, take us away. Hey, you like my Lieutenant Uhura look? I
love it. I'm like, you just did something and there's a map behind you, so it's like you're traveling. It's very nice. And you got a little eye glitter on. I'm like, look at you.
Oh, my brother. He said, do you want to go out? And I said, yeah. So we're going to go eat. So I had to get pretty.
Okay. Get the eye glitter on. Yeah.
My brother is like, don't be coming out disrespecting me. You better look right.
Oh, God. Not disrespecting him.
Men think if you look. Okay. Well, that's another show. There you go. I'm going on mute.
Hey, I had a boyfriend like that. I'd be like, oh, that's what you wear? Let me change it back down.
Fix it.
Fix it.
All right. Yeah, I'm on mute. Peace.
Hey, everybody. This is Ericka from the Classy Climb blog coming today, and I'm going to try to share my screen here. I'm trying to put my PowerPoint on. See if I can get my screen shared here. And I'm talking today about sometimes we say the rich have these loopholes and they're getting away with something. And really, you have to realize that's really not what's happening. You really have to calm down here, people, and kind of really assess what it's about. So let me see if I can put it on PowerPoint status here. And let me know. Esther, can you see this okay? Please comment if you can see it okay.
Exactamungo. I can see it. Now I see me, but I saw you. I like your little, you trying to do me up. That's okay. That's okay. I got time to prepare.
All right. The rich don't have loopholes. There's not magical pot of money that Asians have that you don't have and that they're mystically keeping it away from you. Access is neutral here. So we're going to start with what's really important. Family on the payroll. Listen, I believe one of the most beautiful things you can do for your wife and your kids is start a business that you can teach them a skill and hire them. I cannot tell you how many countless friends and family members who to me were just goofing off at college went home to a guaranteed job day one when they left, whether it was in insurance, construction, HVAC repair, which is air conditioning and heating, or roofing. I had friends actually leave college and walk into a $50,000 job with their family, and they had to work their butts off for it. But that's the difference in people going to college and begging for a job from other people and you creating something for your family. So here, you can have your parents on the payroll. And here's the sweet part. Sometimes your parents have Social Security, Medicaid. They're already receiving some pensions. So you don't have to pay certain parts of their taxes. It's beautiful. Definitely ask your CPA about it. Definitely grab the 2 books we took pictures of and displayed earlier during the week about the course. 1,001 tax deductions and incentives, and 475 tax breaks for business owners and self-employed. Number 2, children on the payroll. Here's the sweet spot. I have a nephew who's 9, and he has a grass cutting business. But he could be under my company, and I can pay him almost $6 grand for those cool video games he loves, almost tax-free. So what does that mean? That means $6,000 that I pay my kid. Let's say I had 5 kids, and I paid each kid $6 grand. That's 30 grand in business that's not being taxed. Now, I could be a smart A parent, and instead of giving it to them, I could put it in a fund for their college and be like, hey, you work for me, the money goes into your fund. 3, you can pay yourself. Some people have a corporation C or a corporation S, and sometimes they pay themselves as employees. They pay themselves 60 grand a year. Don't be crazy and your company's making 5 million a year. You're paying yourself 50,000. Show where it makes sense for what your company's making, of course. Spouse, you can get your wife working for you. I know so many construction guys who started a construction business and they hired their wife to help them keep up with the books and paperwork. Next year, their business was flourishing. Why? Because sometimes men are kind of like, well, there's a receipt for that. Well, they paid me this time or they paid me that time. They're the technician. A good book for that is called the E-Myth Revisited. Sometimes technicians don't make good business owners. Sometimes they need help. So here again is the SEP. SEP. SEP IRA. I talked about this before. You can get deductions on this. Instead of having your regular, 401k that you get from your work and you only put a couple $1,000s, an SEP, which is a self-directed pension fund for yourself, you can put $53,000 a year into it. Imagine that. Now, if you're some business owner and you're making all these big bank, and even football players making all this bank, and you put away $53,000 a year for the next 10 years, and the government, gives you tax off on it, you're going to be okay. You should be okay, or you should have money to draw from if there's any emergency. And that's how a lot of people invest in real estate, by using some of their retirement funds. Now, here's the one that's a kicker, and I love it. Chauffeur. A chauffeur is awesome because you have to show that it's not over the top or outrageous. It's actually a necessity. Let's say you're a husband and wife team and you both work and you have 4 kids. A chauffeur is necessary. You need a part-time cook or a part-time chef, and it's actually tax deductible. I actually think this is the most hilarious out of all these, because I can think of all the families who probably have chauffeurs who are multimillionaires. So, all right, expenses. Here's a good one. Credit card purchases. Now, this is what happens sometimes when you start a business. You start it from your bootstraps up and you pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Well, guess what happens? You might be using personal credit cards. That's okay if you're sole proprietor. We know a lot of guys who are handymen who use their own personal credit cards, and that's okay. But if you're a corporation or an LLC, you need to use business credit cards to get the tax write-off. Okay? Parties. Now, you may say, Ericka, a party? Yes, a party. A party could be a party you throw at your office. It could be an appreciation party for your employees. It can be an appreciation party for your spouse. You just have to show that it's necessary. It was necessary for us to have a quarterly party. It was a holiday party or whatever party or a bonus party. That's okay. Office plants. You can put office plants under expense. Now, many people say, Ericka, that's ridiculous, office plants, but it's not. Office plants bring a vibrancy to an office. Have you ever walked in one of those really big, huge stone marble buildings? What's at the front desk? Plants and flowers, fresh flowers. What's in the hallways and the lobbies? Flowers. Well, someone has to take care of those flowers. Someone has to water them. Someone has to pay them attention. If they die, they got to get them out of there. You can't have dead flowers in your office. That's no way to do it. Put those office plants underneath that expense. Postage. Why is postage so important? If you're like me and you do direct mail and you might occasionally send out 1,000 letters, you want to mark off that postage. You want that to be tax deductible because it's a part of your business expenses. Same thing with people who do Amazon FBA, people who just mail out a huge amount of packages. All right, so here's one I like. Professional organizations, dues and membership. Now, let's say you're a doctor.
I gotta interrupt you because
Sure.
I don't see the PowerPoint moving. It's just stuck on. Hold on. I'm gonna be quiet. Keep talking.
I went back. Credit cards and purchases.
No, it's just stuck. You might want to it's just on the main title.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Can you see it now?
No.
Hold on. Okay, I got out of there. We go over here. All right, let's try over here. Hold on, Esther. Hold on. Thank you for letting me know that because I would have kept on going.
Yeah, take your time. Girl, it's okay. did an interview, and the whole time it was on the man. It never came back to me. Okay, there you go. There you go.
We'll just be in this. We won't be in the big fancy. All right. So that was the one we talked about. Family on payroll, parents, children, paying yourself, spouse. Okay. Chauffeur. All right. Down to here to expenses. Office plants, postage, professional organizations. Can you see it?
Yes, and I'm paying attention.
Okay, so professional organizations, let's say you're a doctor, let's say you're a freaking chiropractic. There's so many organizations that you can network and build and talk with other people. It might run you thousands of dollars a year to join all of them. Guess what? If you have to pay that 1 year, that $10,000 for joining different groups, guess what? You can deduct that too, because it's a necessary expense for you to be in business, for you to connect with like-minded people and do work. Okay, samples. I love this. Giving out samples, the cost of samples. You ever go to Costco? You ever go to all those places and you're eating and you're like, this is wonderful. Guess what? That business is writing off those samples. They're writing off so many packages a year. They don't care. Eat them all. They love it. Because at the end of the year, they know you're going to buy. That's why they do it. All right, temporary help and training helps everybody. This is one of my big passions because I feel like people are getting hired at jobs. They're there, they don't feel important, they don't feel valued, and then the next minute thing you know, they're out the door. I feel if you're an African American or anybody in any community, if you want to train your people, you can. I love what Chick-fil-A does. They give these young teenagers these Friday, Saturday morning meetings, and they can talk to them about whatever they want because they have to be there. So if you want to change your community and you want to talk about debt repayment and insurance and all this other stuff, you actually can mandate your employees be there and get a deduction for the training. I think every business should be doing tax training and debt repayment training. I think that it makes healthier employees, happier employees, more focused employees, because they're like, I've got to show up to work this week. I can't call out another 2 times because I need to pay this debt down. Okay, so on here you have employee sick pay. It is deductible if you own the company. It's not if you're not an employee. Like you have to be, like I told you earlier about giving yourself a salary, giving your wife a salary, giving your parents a salary. You can take this employee sick leave pay, the pay you paid them for being sick, which people do, and deduct it. Okay, so work opportunity credit. I've actually used this hiring certain individuals. That includes felons, people on welfare, and Native Americans. In my region where my business was at, I didn't even hire those people for that long. They're mostly temp jobs, but because they were one was Native American, because one was a felon, and because one woman had food stamps and Section 8, I got money back. I got a credit, and it was awesome. Okay, so temporary help agency. Now, let's say they hire you for $12 an hour. They're charging the company $19 an hour. So really, it's like $20 every time you're there. That's probably why they're very forceful in you doing work. I've done this before. I've done the other side and the other side. I've done where I worked for $12 and $11 an hour at office and where I had to pay somebody $19, okay, to help me for a day or two. They're very flexible with the companies they work with. But you paid $19 an hour for a person to help you all day. Guess what? You get a tax deduction off the fees. So I love that part. I think that's important. All right, bad neighborhood. I just talked about this with Dre in a previous course on the Black Real Estate School. Definitely go check it out. Esther L is also teaching a course there. Bad neighborhood. Many people say, Ericka, well, it's a bad neighborhood. I'm not getting in it. I'm not going over there. I'm not being bothered. Guess what? Low-income housing credit. Building low-income housing gets you credits and deductions and bonus points is what I call them, because you're going into environments where, one, you might get an incentive for even buying in that neighborhood. Two, you might get an economic development fund. There's many different ways if you go in lower income communities to make money and you're not losing money. Shoplifting losses. Stop complaining about your store being in poor areas, write those losses off. There are many times you see corner stores who can just guesstimate. I'm pretty sure I've lost, 10 grand in snacks and things from kids coming in or adults or just random people coming in stealing. That's okay. You can write those off. Instead of complaining about the neighborhood, be the positive effect and change in that neighborhood. All right. These are my niceties. Office and business extras, vending machines. It's a depreciation asset. Why is it important? We've all been at the hairdresser. We've all been at the oil change, the mechanic's place or whatever, and there's been a vending machine over there, nice and shiny, and you're thirsty, and you get the soda or you get the snacks out of it because you're waiting forever for your hair to be done. It happens. guess what? It's an opportunity for your business to make money on the side, and you can write it off. So vending machines, sometimes you can get those candy machines for like $36. All you're putting in there is candy, and you're getting quarters off kids all day. You see in barbershops, kids are eating those things all day. Warehouse. I love this one because a lot of people in Amazon FBA and a lot of people who start shipping companies or do a company where they have to hold product and inventory realize at some point, I can't do it out of my house anymore. My house is too small. I need a warehouse. Well, the cost of renting a warehouse is deductible. And because so many factories have left the country in certain parts of the state, you can rent a warehouse for just about pennies on the dollar. I mean, there's some really great opportunities. Now, I was working with a client in Houston. They had a small little warehouse. It had a sliding garage door. It had a front door like an office, like a glass door. You can knock on it, put their name, number, and a little front desk, and go on the side. It was wonderful. Well, guess what? They can write it off as a warehouse. Okay, 3, website, the domain, the hosting. You know, all these bloggers are saying, oh, my business isn't making any money, my blog isn't making any money, but it can. Not only can you write it off, you need to start focusing on how to make money off of it. So don't be afraid to start those websites. Just keep the good receipts off GoDaddy and all those other people. Yellow pages, listing and advertising are deductible. Now, yellow pages, everybody may say, well, who's looking at phone books? Old people, young people, anybody that gets a phone book to their house, and guess what? If they can't find it on their phone and Google and they're frustrated, or they don't want to go on the computer and look for it, they might just look in the phone book. I remember the other day, my mom looking at pediatricians in the phone book. When I just thought, well, I can just go to the computer now and Google it. But she wanted to look in the phone book. So you can get advertising deductible there. And last but not least, boxes. Amazon FBA or people who mail things as part of their business, boxes are deductible. So we can't say we don't know if we don't learn, right? So now you know some of the cool things. Now we can always talk about phones and your house and your internet and your lights, but these are ones I thought were neat. I thought it was neat to hire your family. I thought it was neat to have a chauffeur, or these random little expenses that most people won't remember. That's why you should grab those books, because they're very helpful. Can you see me?
Can you show the books? Because I didn't show the books.
I can give you a picture because they're actually in the car. So
okay. Well, while I'm talking,
let me see if I can grab a picture.
All right. Well, then that's okay. I'll go and then you'll pull it up. Okay, everybody. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the chat. I'm going to go into, I know it's a boring subject, but taxes are, I mean, come on, they're
sexy. They're sexy.
Well,
they're money makers.
They're not only sexy, you know, we'll be broke without them. The number one expense. So
Uncle Sam is your second business partner.
That's what they say. So can you see mine?
Hold on a second. Let me look. Yes, ma'am. The breakdown of taxes for us melanated folks.
That's right. Okay. Can you see that next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You got to mute out because otherwise it'll jump back to your screen. Hey, so, all right. So tax laws, everybody, were made for business owners and investors. And this is a quote here from Rich Dad. I'm taking excerpts from his book, Robert Kiyosaki, Who Took My Money. So basically, the element of protecting your money is understanding your tax laws. Income accelerators. What does income accelerators mean? It means that you can jumpstart your income. For all my D-boys out there, you can take that $5, you can, or let's say you take a $600, you go get something for $1,000. By the end of the week, you flip that into $4,000. It's the same principle here with your money. You can take all the extra money that you have and flip it into other investment vehicles, other asset classes, whether it's paper or liquid or whatever type of asset that's out there. But you can't do that with taxes, because taxes, why, as business owners, and not even business owners, self-employed individuals and W-2 or people who work for a quote unquote job just over broke are your biggest expense. So unfortunately, we are all not created equal when it comes to taxes. Employees or W-2 individuals, they have the least amount of deductions. So here we go. Taxpayer Freedom Day. What is that? That is when all your money is earned from January 1st to mid-May goes to paying income taxes. So basically, you don't start earning money until the middle of May, because everything at your job, all your income goes to paying taxes. And this is before you can start earning money yourself. So a lot of people are getting these jobs, are getting their paychecks, and they're like, man, I ride Uber every day. Do you know how many doctors ride and are driving Uber? To people with like 60, 70, 80, 90, $120,000 jobs. Two income people making 120,000 combined are driving Uber as part-time. So this year's Tax Freedom Day, it falls every year, but this year it fell April 24th. So that was 114 days into the year before you were starting to make money that was really yours and didn't go to the government. So here's the tax freedom map, but that's for 2015. And last year it fell on May 3rd. This year, I don't know what year, but this is for 2015 for the entire state. That's when this Tax Freedom Day started or starts. You can look it up. It's with the Economic Bureau. They have a map and they update it annually. So here we go. So this, everybody knows I love Robert Kiyosaki, but nonetheless, I really like this cash flow quadrant, because this is the 4 ways that you're producing the income. Because business owners, they create jobs. So the IRS rewards them with tax breaks. So this cash flow quadrant is very important. And tonight I want to break it down. So we have E. E stands for employee. S stands for self-employed, a specialist, or the small business owner. B stands for a business owner, and I stands for investor. So let's just go over the mentality really quick. On the left side represents those working hard for their money. And then on the right side, that's the B and I quadrant. That's the teamwork. And I is where your money as the investor is working for you. So for the ES on the left-hand side, that represents security. Security is important to employees and people who are self-employed. On the left side. And then on the right side, that for business owners and investors is freedom. So on the left side, the ES side, experience teaches you. On the BI side, your work. On the ES side, school teaches you. And then on the BI side, experience teaches you. So on the ES side, you are working. And then on the BI side, other people's time and money work for you. On the ES side, you are working. On the BI side, systems are working for you. On the ES side, success makes you busier. On the BI side, success gives you more time. On the ES side, benefits are important to you. I mean, I know so many people who are afraid to quit their job because they're like, I have health benefits, but they don't ever go to the doctor. And you're like, okay, all right, you can't quit your job because of benefits. So anyway, on I lost my place. On the EI side or the BI side, more time is important to you. And then on the ES side, you have your income is limited. On the BI side, your income is infinite. And then on the ES side, which is what Jessica and I are talking about today, you have very few tax advantages. And then on the BI side, you have many tax advantages. So a lot of people want to know, what's the difference between being self-employed and having a business? So the difference is that on this self-employed side, the business person stops working. If they stop working, their income stops working. But on the right-hand side, the B quad, if you are considered advanced, if you have over 500 employees. If you have 500 employees coming to work, the business is not responsible. It's not dependent upon you. So let's move on to the next slide. So exactly, where did these taxes come from? Well, income tax withholding laws were created by the 16th Amendment in 1913, where it was an authorized income tax. And then from 1943, which is called the Current Tax Payment Act, that is when the IRS started to make business owners withhold taxes from the employees' wages. So not only federal tax, but state and local tax. Jessica was just talking about if you get an older person who's on Medicare or Social Security, you don't have to withhold those taxes. Well, before 1913 and 1943, those things never existed. So basically, this Income Tax Withholding Act, like I said, the employees, they withhold the money, they remit it, and they send it directly to the government. So that tax freedom time, that's what your employer is doing for the 114 days of this year, sending your money away, and you don't even see it. You don't know how many people are surprised when they when they take a look at their paycheck and they compare the gross, that's all the money you receive supposedly before taxes, and then the net, all the money that is received, your real check, once the taxes come out. My daughter started working, I think they started when they were 9, but they didn't need any taxes. They were 15 and 16. One started at Starbucks. She came home. She was like, where did all my money go? I said, what are you talking about? She was like, it said I made 500, but my check is only 300. What happened? I said, taxes, baby. So if 16-year-olds feel that way, of course, adults, we're like, what the heck happened? So on my last point, to really emphasize, there are very few tax benefits for employees. Besides the interest deduction on your personal resident, deductions for contributions to retirement accounts such as 401ks, SEPs, and IRAs, you don't really have much. Jessica talked about a lot of taxes that you could write off. If we get a CPA to come on, I know an LLC and a corp, they basically, LLCs and corps, they have on average, I know a corp has around 2,700 deductions. Everybody is talking about Donald Trump, but he wrote off his toupee. He wrote off hair waxing on his back. Like, somebody hacked into his account and revealed all the things that he wrote off for his tax return, which is absolutely ridiculous. And LLC has some of the same benefits, anywhere between 2,100 to 2,600 deductions that you can take. As a W-2 employee, you might have 40. That's an extremely significant difference. So at the end of the day, taxes are eating you alive. San Francisco just raised their HUD, Housing Authority, income limit for what people can make to receive affordable housing. It is $120,000 a year you can make for a family of 4 in San Francisco to qualify for affordable housing. Affordable housing means that they only take 30% of your income. So now that non-melanated people are going broke, they are making adjustments. Before, it just used to be, affordable housing was only Section 8. Now you have the precariat class, what I was speaking of on last week's show, moving into affordable housing because they're W-2, they're employees, and even high-end salary. There was a 1986 tax act that Reagan brought in that, remember, you used to be like, I want to be a doctor, I need to be a lawyer, I need to be an attorney, making $150,000, $160,000, $170,000 a year. Those benefits for even high-end employees have dissipated since that Reagan Act. So the point is, we are encouraging you to start a side business. That's very important. Starting side businesses is something that needs to happen, whether if you want to start a side business, but you're afraid, network marketing. A lot of people may have qualms about it, but it's an extremely proficient flow of business. And not only is it a proficient flow of business, it is something that is easy, and they train you. So that's pretty much it. We lost a lot of people because we talk about something boring, but hey. Come on in, Jessica.
Hey, Esther,
go ahead.
Esther, I was gonna say real quick that, you know, most people just take care of the main nine exemptions, right? They do their house, their car. They don't think outside the box. They just go, well, that's what the H&R Block app told me. Well, you got to look for yourself. You got to know for yourself. Also, I just wanted to let everybody know I did a little snippet on Facebook Live of Miss Urban Asset doing her thing. I think she's spot on tonight.
Oh, I was on Facebook Live. Oh,
that's what I was holding the camera up for.
I couldn't even see, girl. You know, you'd be back there writing, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, I took notes.
I actually did. I wrote $120,000 for affordable housing in San Francisco. That's ridiculous. But that's where a lot of cities are going, and their market is getting like this. That's why I was telling people, I was like, if you want to buy a house in Texas right now, no money down, closing, you can do it. But I'll go ahead and mute myself.
Oh, okay. I'm going to mute myself in a second. Jessica, come off mute, girl.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to try to mute myself, but I guess, okay.
Don't mute yourself. Okay, so everybody, I don't know how to, I was trying to, I was trying to make sure that I could, I don't know how to do that. I was going to make sure, girl, I was bringing some applause in for you.
Oh.
I don't think he have it on here. You know, I'm not on my platform. So,
oh, okay. Yeah, if you go into your control room, there should be a button.
Yeah, then it's, I got to add apps and all of that. So it's just not up. Okay, so everybody, you hear us make so much fun of Jessica because if for people who are just joining us, or if this video is being shared, one time I call Ericka Jessica because Jessica is my business coach. And she books speakers. I'm not going to even try to introduce Jessica because Jessica can introduce herself. However, people were like, she doesn't exist, you know. Jessica exists, and we want to bring her on. She's going to be fabulous. She's going to tell us and talk to us about some things that are going to enhance us in social media. So I'm going to mute my mic. Jessica, you have the floor.
Oh,
yay!
No. I was not expecting that. That it was going to be more of a conversational piece. So, yeah.
Well,
please.
you know, I could conversate, but I'll just jump in. But you got to go first.
Okay. All right. So, well, my name is Jessica, as you all know. I'm probably one of the only Black Jessicas you'll meet in your lifetime. And I go by JA, which is Jessica Advocates Wellness. I really truthfully believe in wellness in life and in business. So I really advocate for that. And I like to talk a lot about the brain and psychology and kind of what's happening with your internal as well as your external environments and how that relates to your business. So with that being said, like she's putting me on the spot a little bit here, but we were supposed to be talking about, what was it, relation, or no?
No, we're going to talk about community. We were going to talk about those Facebook groups and Instagram and just what is building. Okay, so let me ask you. So what is this building a community? We hear it constantly, and it's like a buzzword with people who are in business. What does that mean? And how can we make money off of it? I guess that's like the main question. How do you
What does it mean, and how can we make some cash? Right?
We're talking to Black people. No,
how we can cha-ching. All right. So since we're talking to my folks, to my peeps, here's the thing. Really, basically what you're doing is you're building a platform. As Esther said, what I usually do is I work with with great Black speakers. I'm the community support manager, and now the digital media. I'll take over the position of being the digital media platform.
Woo! Congratulations,
host for that. I guess, right? I guess. So I'll be doing that as well. But really, truthfully, what it is you're building a platform. So you need to build a base where people can come to you and look to you as the expert in your particular field or niche. So with basically it's just your audience. So what I like to tell speakers when they call in, because we have different speakers that call in and they want to kind of find out how they can get more speaking engagements, what, you know, ways they can position themselves, all that good stuff. And basically what I tell them is that you need to build a platform, that the world has changed a lot from the old, where you could just go to a speakers bureau and just be on the speakers bureau's list, and people would go to that speakers bureau and request you because you were with that speakers bureau, and you can kind of build up from there. Now they want social proof. Now they want you to have your own community, and they want you to have your own audience, that you're not only going to come and speak to their audience, but you'll probably bring people along from your audience to their event as well. So they're looking for that type of engagement.
What's social proof?
Social proof is where you stand up and you basically showcase your expertise on a platform such as this, like you gals are doing now, on YouTube, via Twitter. It's taking pictures, it's video, it's basically just proving yourself in the social media space and on the internet, in the digital media space. So you have, let me break that down a little bit for people that may not know. So you have a traditional space. Traditional is where you do your media outlets, your television, your movies, you know, all the good stuff that's kind of been around for years. Well, the digital media space is all this new stuff, right? All these new platforms, the YouTubes, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Facebook Lives, the Periscopes, all of that good stuff entangled into the interwebs. As well as podcasting as well. So it's all of those different things that are basically the new media, so to speak. So you need to basically show up and showcase who you are, what it is you do, and why you are important, why somebody wants to know you, why they need to know your name, right? Because you want your name to basically bring up a sense of empowerment whenever someone hears it. And that's exactly what I tell all of our speakers there. So that's pretty much what it is.
Well, what do you have anything for the over 40, over 50, the people that are, you know, because that's all that's left on Facebook. My kids on Snapchat and Periscope, and what's the other, Musically, you know.
Musically,
yeah.
and Snapchat. So, and I don't think they've all left. I think that there's still some people there on Facebook for sure. And if the people aren't there,
no, I mean the older people. Like, it's no more young people on there. No, it's for show people on there.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
You was like,
Gotcha. I'm like, well, like, girl, no, those Facebook, they know what they're doing. Definitely. I don't even want to get started on that, but they definitely know what they're doing with all of the data that they've collected. But yeah, so
my question real quick, I'm sorry, was how can the older people, the ones left on Facebook, how can they integrate into that? Do you have any advice for people who are like, I just get on and I check a post and I like it and I leave, but what are some steps that they could do to start integrating that immediately?
Well, what I want to tell you is that every single post, every single page you publish, every single video you put up is your content. And that content is directly related to your brand, and you are a brand. So if you have a business, every single thing that you post with that intent. And you have to post, and I tell my clients to post with a purpose. Anything that you post should always have a purpose behind it and a reason why. So with our old schoolers, that are using social media, I want you to really truthfully understand here that your content is being used by Facebook. And I say that with a very thick emphasis, used by Facebook to determine who you are, what it is you do, and every single step that you make. So when you post something, and there's a way for you to post without seeming salesy or not self-promoting, seeming, like you're boasting and things to that effect. So when you post something, you can very easily post something where you're inside of your store. If you have a brick and mortar store, hey, I'm at my store and we have this on sale today, or we had this happen, or this story came up where this customer told me this. And that's a way for you to really engage your audience, the people that are on your page, as well as tell a story, and you're not being salesy, but you're positioning yourself.
All right, I'll let you go. I thank you for answering that. I'm in the chat too, so any people have questions for you, I'm monitoring it. I'm not just on Facebook.
It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, so that's one way. Another way is to definitely take your camera out and start recording video of yourself. Video is a huge, huge component of digital media right now. So just taking it out whenever you're feeling comfortable. Like I said, you want to make sure that everything you post has a purpose behind it. So don't just get on there and just start posting you dancing. I know I used to do that a long time ago. Or you just, you're hanging out and you're like, whatever. Really have a purpose behind it. And if it's something where you want to be authentic and you want to just show like maybe, I don't know, an incident where you had a family member that just went through something hard and you were able to help them out of it, different things like that, just really sharing your story. I want you to really look at yourself and know that you are a talent. And this is your stage. This is your digital worldwide stage that you have here. So everything that you post is going to be seen from here to all around the world. This is your stage. You need to show up as the talent that you are and know that your talent is very useful and you're valuable. So you want to make sure that you're showing up and you're promoting yourself in a way that's, like I said, not sleazy or salesy, but you're showcasing who you are and what it is that you do, your expertise.
Okay. So Estella, she said she knows 5 Black Jessicas, so you're not alone.
Awesome.
High five. Okay. And that's it.
I hear that a lot. I don't hear that a lot, but I hear my name being called out a lot, and it's always someone of another nationality. It isn't someone with my same skin tone. And I'm like, huh? And they're like, no, not you, the white girl over there. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm very happy to hear that. There are a lot of us in the world.
So real quick, how would you recommend someone utilize the Facebook group? I interviewed Kat, the course builder.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's on my platform.
Awesome.
Yeah. I go behind you and I interview everybody you interviewed. I don't even need no podcast schedule, girl. I just log on and be like, oh, if they Black, I'm going to interview them.
It's all good. That's exactly why I'm putting together the virtual co, if I can put in a little plug, because I want to share that community with other like-minded business owners who have a platform or are looking to build a platform and just don't know how to go about it, or just want a supportive community because they don't want to feel isolated. They felt isolated doing everything on their own. And now you can have someone that you can say, hey, and jump into our group and go, hey, I want to interview you. Who else do you know? And we can all help each other. That's definitely the reason why I put it together.
Yeah, and then you sent me the link of that. So everybody, Jessica's doing a virtual co-sharing space. And I think I talked about it on this show, or I don't know if I did the show with the brother Kansu, but the point was that we were talking about virtual offices and utilizing virtual offices for getting your mail and, just making sure that you can obtain business credit that way. Definitely. But a virtual office, in a sense, here in Oakland, and Jessica's from the Bay, Jessica?
Yeah, I'm from Richmond, California. Yeah.
Woo! Rich town.
I used to be able to say Richmond and no one knew where it was. Now it's famous.
Girl, I don't know.
I thought you were talking about Richmond, Virginia. I was like, yeah, Virginia, all day. Everyone knows that place.
Yeah, I used to have to say I was from
Berkeley. I'm like, I don't know.
Or I was from Oakland, and then they'd be like, Richmond, where is that? And then I'd be like, oh, I'm from Berkeley. Or I say Oakland. They'd be like, oh, okay, I know where that is.
You said Berkeley, I'd be like, of course I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm it's just gonna take me around town in Uber.
Yeah.
We're gonna ride around town. We're gonna Uber the city, apparently. Yeah, like Uber points.
Definitely.
Yeah. To the city.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Ericka, you have any questions?
I love that you basically are talking about building your tribe. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. We have so many people saying, nobody gets me, my family doesn't get me, no one's supporting me. Girl, there are a ton of people out there just like you. Go out and find them. You cannot wait for your family or friends to be like, you're so good.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
so great.
Ericka, you have such a great point, because I have to tell you that right now there's a guy that's podcasting right at this moment about Quantum Leap. And I tell everybody this because it's so fascinating.
The TV show?
The TV show, Quantum Leap.
I know, I love that show. I love that show.
Okay.
Home.
Every single podcast episode is about Quantum Leap. It's about every single episode of Quantum Leap. Okay. And for me, I'm like, I love Quantum Leap, but I ain't like it that much. Like, it ain't that deep. But for him, he has built a pretty good sized audience, as well as he's built online courses, groups around Quantum Leap. Okay.
That guy needs to meet him and take autograph pictures with him. The guy that was on the show, he's on CSI New Orleans now. He needs to drive up and be like, I am Quantum Leap fan.
Exactly. But see, that's just taking one particular interest or like, or, you know, just something, and then creating a community around it and an audience around it to go, hey, we are all similar thinkers. We're all like-minded. Why don't we come together and talk about this thing? And that's exactly what you can do by building your own platform and by starting your own show, which is what I tell all of our speakers to do. Start your own YouTube, podcast, whatever it is, but get out there. And there's a certain way you have to go about it. So you definitely need some help with it, because you can start a YouTube channel all you want all day and it will not go anywhere if you don't have the right elements in place. So I'm sorry. So Esther, you had actually asked me a question about Facebook groups. So Facebook groups are a great extension to an online course. If you were talking about CAP Course Builder, to an online course, to a virtual event, to an in-person event, and it's a way to keep the conversation going. So it's a way for you to connect further with your audience and start to build a relationship. Because like I said at the beginning of this, everything is about story, right? It's all about us telling our story. If you listen to any rapper, even rhythm and blues, you know, you go back to the old days, you know, back, if we really want to go back, we can talk about slavery, stories, right? All of it is just us singing about what's happening in the days and the times and all that good stuff. So it's something that we definitely need to bring into the now and create that content around those same bases. Even the guy with the podcast story, right? He's looking at the episodes and then he's talking about them. Story. So building a Facebook group just brings in that element of building relationships, networking, and having direct content as well as direct relationship with your audience and your customer. You get to go directly to your customer. No other time in the history of all of this in our world have we had the opportunity to build a group and have our target audience within the group that we can go, hey, you like this? Hey, what about that? Hey, what about this? What are your pain points? What problems are you having? And you can basically solve them and create a product to solve them. So groups are great. It's a great way for you to find out what you should be doing if you don't know what you should be doing. It's definitely a reason why I decided to move towards, you know, helping people create shows and create platforms, because I saw the need of all these speakers saying, I want more speaking events. I want to speak more. I just want to speak. Like, I'll even speak for free. And I was like, well, why don't you build an audience? Why don't you build people that want to hear you speak, you know, and that's how you can start to get out there and get more speaking events. Gary V, ET, all those guys started off on YouTube. They all started off by building their own platform and having people come to them for the content. And now they can charge basically whatever they want to go and speak.
Jessica, there are like 5 points I was going to agree with you and hit on. It's one, the YouTube is important. You got to have a niche. You got to have more of a niche, because there's so many people who have like 1 million views and no money, and they like working at Starbucks, right? And then there's guys or girls who have like 5,000 subscribers, but yes, they can get $50 to $100 every month from those same subscribers through various courses and different things. Just 100, they have a whole life change. There's a guy called Glenn Cameron. He made $1 million off of 400 students. You know, I met ET twice. I met Gary Vee twice. But I will tell you, it's the power of just harnessing you. There's 1 million other fitness channels, be you. There's 1 million other political channels, be you. There's 1 million other gun channels. I was telling my friend about doing a gun channel, and he was like, what's so different about you doing a gun channel? Look at me. I'm a woman. I'm a brown woman, and I'm conservative. Trust me, there's not 1 million of those, right? So it's about you. Quantum Leap guy, right now, I just wanted to go interview him. That's all I want to do. What makes you do this? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the riches and niches. That's what they say.
There you go. Boom.
And it doesn't take a lot of people. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. And even if, like you said, and I totally agree with you, Ericka, it really, truthfully, it's about finding your tribe. Like you said, be you. Just being yourself. For me, I'm very silly. So I thought I had to be a certain way when I got into all of this. I was like very stuffy, and I always wear a suit jacket, and I was like, and I have my glasses on. And then I realized that whether it doesn't matter what I do, I'm gonna start laughing, I'm gonna start being silly. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna just be my silly self, and it's gonna come out eventually anyway. So you might as well be yourself and know that you will attract the people that like you because you're yourself, and you will get rid of the people that don't. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but anyway, you'll get rid of the people that are not in your tribe when you act and be, when you just present yourself as yourself.
I mean, it's like that one time Esther wore this white jacket on an interview and she was popping, yo. Like people have been buying that course nonstop because she had this white jacket on. And I told her she keep that white jacket on all day, all her videos.
Shut up about that white nigga. It was a shirt. It wasn't even no jacket. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What episode was that? I'm gonna have to go back and look at it.
It wasn't an episode. It was a little promo, and she just been giving me flack about it.
Oh, did she show up? You were showing up like what's the lady off the Dalmatians? No, she was black and white. That wasn't the lady off the Dalmatians.
She was like, and then the next time me and her did the show, she was like, "Yeah, so you gonna get dressed up for Dre? You gonna come in that white jacket, but you gonna come roll up in a sweater for me? And it's after Labor Day."
Dirty word. That's real dirty.
Wait, okay. So I called Ericka the other night, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Ericka?" She was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, you don't know too many black people, huh, Ericka?" She was like, "Nah, I just met my blackness last week."
Oh.
So to defend myself, I'm actually from an area. If you're born on one side of the area, you're Indian. If you're born on the other side of the area, you're black. But either way, you're surrounded by white people. Okay, and the funny thing is, my family are a bunch of military serving police officers. So imagine me coming into college talking about in class. Yeah, they're like, "Well, what do you feel about the cops?" Well, 12 of my family members are cops. My mom was going to be a cop after the military. It didn't work out. To have those arguments, I'm like, that's not my life. That's not my life experience. It's just not. And honestly, a generation of people that look like me are having the same life experience. Their parents left the cities, they live on the edges, or they're country black folk. Now, we always make a joke about country black folk, but country black folk have a good time, and they're very country music, country cowboy boots. I mean, when I moved to Texas, people are like, "You got cowboy boots when you got here?" No, baby, we have cowboy boots in North Carolina. Okay, we have farms there too. This is not an exclusive thing. But what I love is I can come in and see where if some people actually just start focusing on having a business, they can feel more empowered.
Yeah.
They don't have to feel like a lack of control here, right? Like, I'm applying for all these jobs and I'm not getting them. Well, okay, well, start your own deal. Start your thing, right? So that's a part of why I love that I met Dre. I love that I met Esther. She cracks me up. But it's like, her daughters are traveling. She lives in California. How would a person from North Carolina or that lives in Texas meet a person from California if not via the internet and via finding your tribe?
And can I ask how you both met?
Through Dre.
Through the internet.
How did you see? And that was what I was going to say too. That's why it's so important. Well, I mean, through him, but also through the internet. Had you not gone through the internet, you would have, you wouldn't have met him. And that's the whole thing and that's what I want to really drive home. When you have your own platform, you have your own base and your own show, your own thing that you control, you can get out there and start to build relationships with others because you're bringing them in to interview them. So you're building those relationships. So then when people, and this is a little tidbit that I usually give to my clients, but I'll give it to you guys. So when people go,
I usually charge for this.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I tell you, like Esther, make sure you getting your money. So what I usually tell them is that when you go out and you start to build your platform and you have your own show, once you interview people, you place them on your title. Then when people go to search for them, they're finding you. When people go to search for a Gary V, they're finding you. So for you, give me your name again. I'm sorry, I'm losing Ericka. Ericka, for you, Ericka, if you have any pictures, You got some pictures of you and Gary Vee? You got some pictures of you and ET?
I sure do.
You need to post them, and you need to put in the title Gary Vee and, you know, and me, or whatever, you know, or whatever, or do a video about when you met them and put that in the title. So when people go and search Gary Vee, guess who's going to pop up? Ericka met Gary Vee. Oh, she looks interesting. Let me see what she does. You see what I'm saying? That way you can leverage their name and it'll bring clients to you, or, you know, what have you, or just relationships. Sometimes it's not even really about the money. It's about the relationships that you get. Because imagine if he goes and he researches it and he likes what you do and he's like, hey, girl, I met you. And then I saw that video. Come on over here. You know, ET's like, you know, girl, come on my stage and come talk to my 50,000 people that I'm having at this event, and somewhere. Oh, you think you're not? Yeah.
I'm going to use that as a thumbnail just because she said that.
Exactly.
White jacket and put it as a thumbnail. Got it.
See, look, Ericka starts stuff all time.
Yes, you should. You most definitely should. And you shouldn't feel apologetic. And like, I think as African Americans, we think, oh, well, I don't want to do that because they might think, no. You know, no. You have just as much expertise, just as much talent. No human being has more value than another. I don't care how much money they have. No human being. So if you have met this person and you have a picture with them, oh, best believe, you better put it up as a thumbnail and watch your clicks soar. Watch your stuff soar. And then if they stay around, they like your content, then they're going to subscribe. They're going to like it. They're going to stay around for more content. If you already have a plethora of videos, they're going to just go there and binge watch. It's kind of like Netflix. Next one. So make sure you're, you know, and I know, Ericka, you got great content. So I've seen your YouTube video. So, you're going to be banging. So yeah, I'm sorry. I went on a tandem. Went off on a tandem.
That's okay.
I was going to say, I got to get me some more YouTube ads. When I get them YouTube ads going, I got me a 16-year-old I hired. She's going to throw me some blogs together. It's gonna be
right. There you go. That's
what's up.
Make it happen.
All right, ladies, I'm hungry.
Well, Esther, what did I tell you about that professional on the camera? So that's the end of our show today. Thank you so much for watching. And go ahead and call to action.
See, what we just talked about, you got to be real. Because if you stay true, people are going to call you up, and those are going to be the people that are okay with dealing with you.
That's absolutely correct.
We're gonna have some content. I'm just like I was busy trying to get my Lieutenant Ahura look together.
Well, you look beautiful. It was really
Thank you. You do too. You both do. And
nice.
You know,
Ericka's rocking those curls. Very, very nice. Beautiful.
The Texas humidity beat me up today. It decided to rain in Texas, so it was like whoosh.
We don't know. Your hair is beautiful. It looks like that. I did not know it was an afro. I'm gonna go put my white jacket on and go to dinner with my brother.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on.
Let me down for nothing. What was the last thing I said? Steve Jobs was still alive. And Ericka came off mute hecka quick and was like, he's dead. So
look at Jessica's face. Even she was like, no. Steve Jobs is dead 5 years now, honey. Hold on, let me have a professional closeout since we've lost off the rails. All right.
Well, I do want to thank you both for having me on. I really appreciate it. No, I am not a fallacy. I am definitely a live human being.
Anytime Ericka leaves, I'm like, oh, was that Jessica at the door? She's like, yeah,
that was my dog, Jessica. It was my dog.
You a dog.
Here under the table where I'm trying to itch my foot. I'm trying to like get off the counter.
Human. That's definitely human.
I was like, yeah.
Well, if you guys have any questions about social media whatsoever, or just, well, not social media, but digital media, let me put it that way, or technology, please go ahead and tweet to me at Jaw Speaks on Twitter. And you can check out more information about just posting with purpose and creating your content in more of a storyline with the Facebook page, with my Facebook page, Jaw Speaks. All right. So that's my little plug, and I will be quiet now. Thank you both.
Ericka, I thought that you said I was on Facebook Live. You did.
Oh, I took it off. I did it. I said, come check out our video. Here's the clip of us.
Where is it? It's not on your.
Ericka Williams page. I'll share it to my main page. Okay.
Oh.
Hey everybody, this is Ericka from the Classy Climb blog, coming tonight with Jessica. Yes, she is real Jessica from Richmond, California. And we also have Esther L. Hungry in California. We are excited to have you guys tonight, talking about taxes, talking about freedom, talking about making a bigger life, and finding your tribe. Don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. Everybody, this is Ericka Williams. You can check me out at the Classy Climb blog, classyscl.com. Esther, to you.
It slowed down heck of much. He was like .com, but I don't know if that's gonna be anybody else's in. I guess that's my closeout. This is Esther with Urban Asset Protection. I'm gonna be in New York, Brooklyn, Benjamin. Yeah, that's why I don't go past 6. I'll put it in the comment section. Doing consultations. I'm in New York from the 8th through the 11th, speaking with the people. And I'll be filming a talk show. Come on out. It's in Queens. I'll put all the information down there. Time Warner Network, but it's going through, I think, local cable channel, talking about business credit in the Black community, how we can build on that based off of the knowledge of not using our social security number. So at the end of the day, I appreciate Jessica coming on. I appreciate Ericka. I'm talking to their memes now. Everybody be well. And thanks again to viewers for sticking in there. We appreciate you so much. If you're in the New York area, get in contact with us and we'll see you shortly. Okay, bye. Next week. Bye-bye.